Hello?
Hello, I was trying to speak to Jamal.
Jamal?
Yeah, that's what I had on the email.
Jamal. Jamal's not here. Are you, who am I speaking with?
Tiffany, I just told him I was gonna call him. Oh, 'cause that's what it said in the email. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I don't know. I probably was emailing to somebody else. Maybe got the names messed up. I don't know. But anyway,
It says,
that's not my real name anyway. My
okay, good, good.
yeah. Because I have reasons why I don't put my real name out there.
That's what's up. You gotta protect yourself. I'm gonna make sure I edit this other stuff out too, 'cause I was like, what? I thought it was a dude.
Oh no, no. No, my apologies.
No, you're okay. So, tell me what's on your mind about the case.
Well, what's on my mind about that case is that I suspect that was some kind of a cult deal.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think that was not no one time event. They've been delivering this kind of system for a while there, and I could tell, especially by the weirdness of the doubles and all that was going on, and it was just strange to me how that there were so many different trannies that was involved as well.
And at first, I thought people were just saying that because some of them were ugly, but
No.
turns out they really were trannies.
Yeah, yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, you're right. I don't believe it's a coincidence that we had so many people dressing like, so many people playing one person, all this different stuff.
Right. She was targeted. She was gang stalk targeted. No doubt. She was going to end up. They had a plan for her to end up dead that night. Period. It was a done deal.
Exactly. That's why I hate when people keep saying, "Oh, well, if she had went to the movie, she'd still be here." I don't think so. They just would have planned something else.
No, he was at the movies. Ty Rosen was at the movies looking for her.
Exactly. Like, so if she had went to the movies, then it would have been the same
Right.
outcome.
Exactly. So they had gang stalked her. And they
Hmm.
premeditated the whole thing for a while back. They plotted people around her to get close to her and befriend her. And, being that she was the type of person she was cute. She was a cute girl, and she wanted to have friends. I don't think things were going really, I don't think she came from a functional home. I think her home was kind of dysfunctional.
Hmm.
Because I heard her say something on YouTube, and once she was murdered, I was like, wow. So what was she meaning behind that? I think it was Monifa was at her house. I know it was Monifa and Shemaya. They were at her house, and they asked for a comb or something like that. And she said it was in her mother's room. She said, "Ooh, scary." And then she said, "I wish I was a man."
Mm.
So I think she was.
I can see why she would say that. I can see why, since she feels like, being a woman has made her be a target as far as like being beautiful and stuff.
Yeah, and also I think the men probably I won't say men, but something must have happened with some guy or something in that bedroom that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that wasn't the first time she reacted a certain way in her mom's room. Like her mom had on a video, so see what I have to do to get my daughter to come lay down with me, and she was trying to give her some food to come in there and lay down with her, and Kenneka just sat on the bed. She didn't want to do it. She just kept laughing. So I think some kind of sexual abuse was going on with her anyway.
And physical abuse for Irene
Yeah.
and him in the hotel. But yeah, like, if we go back, I really do think that, because somebody wouldn't just say that just to be saying that. Like, there's a reason behind saying, "I wish I was a dude."
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying too. You don't have the power. You've been overpowered some kind of way.
Hmm. And I don't know if I want to get into that, but what they were saying about the stepdad, right?
He was molesting her.
That she was pregnant by him, supposedly. Let me put that allegedly.
Uh-huh. See, that's what made me.
And so,
That's what made me. I thought. I thought.
yeah,
I thought something was going on because she, the way she said it, was like she is like it was like she was being abused to me.
yeah. And if you think about it, if this guy was a quote unquote gangbanger to stepdad, well, I mean, it's easy for him to set something up because if you think about it, she was really young when she supposedly got pregnant by him. So, that could do some time.
Yeah, and what's really weird, I don't think she was the type of person. She was hanging around with these girls, but I don't think that she was that type of a girl.
Exactly. She was just adapting to her environment.
Right. She was trying to She wanted to try to have a family and friends and stuff, and she didn't really have any. She was a different breed. She said she had a job, and she had got another job. Okay, she's only 19 years old. Okay, she got a better job than what she had
Hmm.
before.
Exactly.
And the fact that her father was supposed to have left her some money.
Oh, yeah, her real dad, right?
Yeah, I think it added up to like 100K, 100 grand, and she was supposed to inherit that money. I don't know at what age though. I don't think she got it yet. I think it was coming close to the date for her to inherit that money. And so
Mm.
I'm wondering if she didn't get it, who did it go to?
Oh man, see, that's why I like these conversations because you gonna make these people watching think because there could be different scenarios.
That's right.
If she was gonna inherit some money, I mean, that's a motive.
Oh yeah, Straight Drop got it on his YouTube. He got the whole thing. He pulled it up.
I have to go check it out.
Yeah, she's supposed to get some money. So, and that's what it's another reason why when you see her, she's always looking nice.
Mm-hmm.
See the picture, she looks really well dressed. You know, her stuff looks like she's new most of the time. You know, and her hair is
Mm-hmm.
always done and stuff. Those other girls couldn't keep up with her. There was a lot of jealousy going on.
And I'm gonna say this, like, okay, I know people don't like when you want to focus on the whole, oh, she was pregnant, da da da, because you notice a lot of the videos on my baby
Oh yeah,
when she
yeah.
says that,
Uh-huh.
and then you'll hear Shamaya say, on my dead baby. So it's like a lot of them either have like she has a child, and then it's like they get pregnant and they lose them because we doing all this drinking and you know what I'm saying, smoking.
Well, she was supposedly, I think the guy's name is Marco or something like that. Her boyfriend. He
Hmm.
kind of mentioned that. He said his baby passed. He said their baby passed. I don't know. He didn't go into detail.
Exactly. Exactly. So it's like I think a lot of people though are trying to say things to, just, get their name out there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. And
So I don't know how.
some people are trying to character assassinate her to derail um, the fact that she was set up and murdered.
Exactly. Like there's no if Ty okay, let me tell you this. Ty Rowland has a court date coming up. I believe it's the 18th of January. They listed it online. They show where he gonna be and all that. So while he's stalking folks at the movies, he better be because this stuff is public information. He better be watching his own back because a lot of people want street justice.
Yeah. Well, personally, I think that would be the best justice for this situation.
Right? Because you know what I'm saying. Don't be prolonging this.
Yeah. Well, and plus, in addition to that, sometimes when things go, well, I'm going to tell you this. When it is cult involved, they usually have connections with the system. So there's not going to be the kind of justice that they really deserve. No way.
Well, go, because I know the people listening want to know more. Can you go a little bit more into detail about what you feel about the occult in this?
They have ties into the judicial system, police connections, and everything. There's no filter with them. That's how they've been able to get away with this kind of thing for so long. It's real, real sick. When I first heard about it, I just knew immediately it was like a snuff party.
Yes, because that's why she said that, or they said that she had a lot of like semen and stuff on her and stuff. That's what really kind of made it really, really sad to me because I'm like, just imagine, like, I'm gonna upload a video once again that hasn't been seen where she's saying in the background. And well, matter of fact, I think it's the video that I just uploaded where she's sitting up here talking about, they're talking about all the bodies they had. You know what that mean? Like how many people you've had intercourse with. And Kanika's all like, man, can't a bunch of people say that about me? I only had sex with 2 people in my life, and her mom said that.
And she said in another video,
So,
the same video that I was watching. They were the other girls wanted to get with different guys and stuff, and she's like, "Girl, why you do this man like that? You got him strung out over you." You know how she talks, slurring and all that kind of stuff. She said, "Why you want to do him like that?" Just laughing and things like that. But she was not out there like that. She didn't want. She wasn't real promiscuous like that. They tried to make like she was because she was associated with people who were like that, and now people figure birds of a feather flock together. But they knew that she was pulling away, okay, and there was a lot of guys lusting for her. And so, and then the girls were envious because the guys were liking her because a lot of guys like it when girls are not really loose like that, And
right.
she carried herself in a manner that she also was going to school as well. So
and that could be that inheritance thing. You know how you have to get certain degrees and stuff before they release it. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So she was in the car talking with her boyfriend before he went to jail, and they were talking about school and everything. So that's why I know she was kind of focused in a different direction. And even if she was out there messing around in the hotels, tricking and stuff, I think she might have been doing it for fun or experimental type of thing. I don't think it was something that she seriously wanted to do. But I really don't believe that she was like that. I believe that she had her mind focused elsewhere. There was a lot of jealousy because they wanted to get their money the fast way and the bummy way. And she had already set her goals and actually had started achieving.
Exactly. And you know what? The videos with her twerking, the one with her mom and stuff, that's why I feel like a lot of guys were lusting after her because if you look at it, her and her cousin Jasmine were the best twerkers. Let me keep it real. And they were kind of Kenneka was kind of like showing a lot of stuff. And to me, if your own mom is putting this out on live, you got guys that could be plotting on that. You know what I mean?
Now that you mentioned that, you said something about her mom. I think her mom was jealous of her. I'm just gonna keep that the way I feel.
Trying to live vicariously through her.
Yeah, I think she. I mean, her daughter was. She seen her daughter, and that was like a lot of times what women do. They see the shells of themselves or how they used to be at one time, and how the guys, and she was getting that kind of attention.
And like I said, she had adorable dimples, and people love that.
To me, her mom was trying.
And if you notice, also Shamaya,
her mom was trying to be more of a girlfriend than a mother.
Exactly. But you know what? I still don't know that just because that happened, for the people listening, it doesn't make her a murderer. No. So I just want to say that for the people that'll say they're blaming her.
No, I'm not gonna blame her, but I you know what? I'm not gonna blame her because I just really am optimistic though. I'm very optimistic. When it comes to certain situations and you're doing you never know who your enemy is. A lot of times with these murders, the closest person to you is the one that's got you. And the fact that this is what makes me leery about her mom is that she seems like she doesn't want it to go too deep.
Right.
If you want people to stop protesting and stop doing this and stuff, why? That should help you.
Right.
And if they want to do it on their own, why is that a bother? Maybe if they dig too deep.
That's what it is.
Yeah, if they dig too deep, maybe they're going to find something out about you as well.
That's why it seems like everybody who's really seemed like they're about to break some ground, like Dr. Ali or Jedediah or P. Rico.
Yeah. See, she
I just want to put enough attention on this. This is like as if there are people saying they want to put enough attention on it to get some money, but not really solve the case.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, there's probably a deal already. I'm sure some kind of deal already been made. And maybe they told her she had to put the muffle on.
Right.
Because it happens more often than you think. I mean, you know, it does. It happens. People sell their own people out a lot.
Yeah, exactly. People think it doesn't happen because they wouldn't do it.
Right, exactly. Because that's not their morals.
That people aren't like you. You know what I mean? A lot of people.
Exactly. And just like, you know, I can't say it for wrong. I don't want to victimize other people and, you know, character assassinate. But sometimes, you know, these kids come up molested and they come up missing. You'd be surprised, you know, what it leads back to. You know, just for example, an associate of mine told me about one of their relatives that came up missing. Baby was about 2 or 3 years old. And I just vicariously, I was just talking, and I brought up the subject to another one of their relatives, and the relative looked at me and she said, they know what happened to that kid.
Mm-hmm.
So they're lying all the time, like the kid was snatched.
Exactly. I believe the mom knows more, but is afraid because, you know, Chicago is a totally, totally different ball game when it comes to that gang violence. That's why they call it Chirac.
Right.
So
yeah, she does have
that's why.
children. That's the other thing about that too. She does have other children.
And that son just died a year ago. I'm trying to figure out what that was about. Do you know?
No.
So it's like this is the norm for them. You know, you would think that if your daughter just died, that you wouldn't be out twerking or then I mean, but people deal with things in a different way. Who knows? You know, I've had a cousin tell me when I die, don't be crying. I want you to circle around when we go and put me in the grave playing Lil Boosie. Like you don't know what she said before, you know, before she died.
Yeah. Yeah, my mom always said you're supposed to cry when kids are born, brought to the world. Brought to the world, you're supposed to cry, and you're supposed to rejoice when they leave.
That's what the Bible said. And I was just about to tell you that. That's what people say. So you don't know, you can't, because I've seen footage where she runs out crying.
Yeah, I saw
and you. Yeah, but then people want to make it seem like because I'm saying, hey, good morning, or whatever, I can't have a good morning now. Like when my grandmother died, I felt like wrong to feel good. Like when people would ask me, how you doing? It took me 2 years to say I'm doing good today. Because people will guilt you into feeling like, why aren't you sad? Well, I am sad.
Right. Well, it's not good to be that way all the time. Anyway, you got to perk yourself back up because being depressed, you know, you may lead to suicide or, you know, it just makes you sick. You can't stay in that state of mind forever. But it must be a lot on her mind. Sometimes I felt that maybe they were trying to drive the lady crazy too, because I know she's seen all those pictures all over the place out there over and over and over again. And, you know, it's always, you know, that topic is always coming up.
Exactly. That's what made me have compassion for the mom, is because I don't want to see my relatives dead ever. And not only for her, she has the whole world constantly reminding her. And it's gruesome.
Yes. Yeah. That hurt me to my heart. I'm going to tell you, I couldn't sleep. That hurt me so bad. I mean, it hurt me. I mean, I would go upstairs, just sing and sing and sing just to get my, release stress from me. That really bothered me. Just imagine that she had to fight. How she had to fight. It was horrible. Because I'm going to tell you, I'm just going to just relive a little high. It kind of took a personal twist on things, unsolved murders personally in my own family. And also when I was younger, and I wanted to have friends and be with people who were not my friends. They're frenemies, you know. And hey, I've been close to situations like that. That I had to do things to survive. I wouldn't be here talking to you, you know. So I can I can relate to her on, you know, having to fight and fight and fight, and you struggling for your life. Just so lucky I was able to get away.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why I told you it's a cult, because later I seen some other people that I knew that were high profile. The law enforcement was supposed to be looking for them. I've even heard conversations that I would not, if something ever happened to me, my first bet wouldn't be to run to them, because you don't know who you're talking to.
Mm-hmm. So, how deeply involved do you believe the friends are? Do you believe this was something that they actively planned, or that night things went left and they just went along with it?
Well, I don't think things just went wrong. I think it was premeditated. It's not a coincidence that these doubles showed up that night. That wasn't a coincidence.
Right.
They had to think so.
Right.
And it wasn't, if what some of the staff members are saying, some of the security is, you know, they do independent contracts, and they have some people that they don't even know showed up to work there that night. I don't think that was a coincidence.
Right.
It wasn't regular workers. I mean, it just adds up that it was just like, you know, they wait for the right time, put the players that they need in place to execute an act and deliver it successfully. And that's what they did.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it was important that it happened that night. So they can have certain staff members that are on duty. They're going to handle the business. Everybody, you know, agrees to do things a certain way to deliver the product and get away with it. And that's what they do.
That's why we don't have any arrests, because this Rosemont are in cahoots with this hotel. Like, this is something that goes down all the time.
Yes. And nobody's going to flip on each other, because it's like a domino effect if that happens.
Exactly. Like, you can tell by the way that so many things are obviously wrong, and they're still saying no foul play, that they're involved, talking about the police department.
That's right.
You can't overlook this.
Some people can't even talk about, what is it? I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name correctly, but Oathead, they killed him after he spoke out about Kenneka. And they trying to say, it wasn't about Kenneka. Well, he made a video, and right after that video, he got snuffed out. And then even Zach talked about somebody was talking too much and got killed. Somebody else. A whole different person. When he was talking to, what's this other guy? Just 33. Just 33 production. I mean, so you know that, I mean, if they're talking too much, so they know what happened. And that's why Just 33 King Productions, he puts Zach on blast. He said, you know what happened to him.
Mm-hmm. Well, now, how involved? Huh?
It's strange that he had the interviews with Irene 2 days afterwards, on the 12th of September. Well, 3 or whatever. That was so quick. To me, it made it seem as though that he was making sure that a story got out the way that it needed to be told to protect somebody else.
Well, somebody said that the murder that Kenneka witnessed was of some of his homies. Don't know how true that is.
Yeah, that's what I said. I heard that it involved Ty Rowland.
Oh, really?
That's what I heard. I don't know how. It's just hearsay.
Cause that would make sense why he kept pointing the camera at her like, yeah, this is what we, like he was telling the people that was watching the video, I'm here, I'm about to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He looked really screwed. His eyes, rolling his eyes back in his head, and the way he was looking, real sneaky. But that Monifa knows a lot too. Monifa, the kid.
I think Monifa knows the most after I watched Dr. Ali's lecture last night. I believe she knows the most. Because how in the world you know your friend since third grade, then you knew that this wasn't the real Kenneka in this mirror, yet you stood by her and took a picture. So that means, because you didn't look sad in that picture. You didn't look like, you look like you went right along with it.
She was laughing when she drank the spiked drink.
Mm-hmm.
You can see her in the videos when she spits it out and said, "What is this?" And then you can see Monifa, she just bust up, start laughing.
See, the one thing I didn't do when I lost my granny was be out. No, there's no way after. Okay, like Shemaya, I was on her page. She's sitting up in here. Oh, my favorite girl, and all this other different stuff about other females. And I'm like, but I thought your favorite girl was Kenneka. Now I understand that she's gone, but we're moving on a lot fast. Like this whole little boyfriend of hers. As soon as you gonna post a quick thing that nobody's seen, I should grab that because they pissing me off. But he posted this thing laying up in the bed with Kenneka. Nobody had seen it before. But then he gonna post, oh, you died when I went to jail. And then not a couple of hours or days later, my girl did it. But I thought that was your girl. He's talking about a new girl. Like, these kids ain't loyal for nothing.
Oh, you're talking about that Rico guy?
This Birdie. I was talking about this Birdie dude.
Wow. Well, what's weird?
I'm just like,
there's a picture with Marco and Ty Rowland and somebody else. And one other guy.
Can you email that to me when you get a chance?
I don't know which one it was. I've been watching so many YouTubes. I'll look through it and see if I can find it.
Okay, because I want to, because I'm not knowing who this Marco is that you're talking about.
Well, you know Marco? I can find his quick. But there's a picture on.
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
Straight 8 Drop got, he has a picture of Ty Rowland, Marco, and one of the other guys that was at the party. He just recently posted that one. But there's a lot of Marco. Yeah, I can send you an email on him.
Man, okay, thank you, because I didn't know. So this was the one who claimed that they lost the baby?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He uploaded a video saying what he knew about those other girls. He said that Kenneka and him used to talk about it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You heard about that one?
I did, but I didn't remember who the name was. So basically he exposing that they weren't really all that close as they saying, which would make sense of how they not acting all sad.
Right. Yep. He talked about how they was fake. Yep.
And also, like, darn it, I will not lose this thought. You better come back. Okay, if you look at the video that I uploaded with them playing Twister, have you noticed when she was with her cousin Jasmine and them, even though they still were drinking and stuff like that, they weren't on that gangbang stuff. That's why Bree or whoever that was sitting next to her that was at the hotel that night was not having fun. Because when Kenneka is hanging out with Bree and Shemaya and Monifa and them, it's always on some no good type stuff.
But what's weird? Remember when I told you that the person that you think that's close to you is the person usually even when law enforcement wants to solve a crime, they try to find out who the closest people are to you because they're the
yes.
Well, there's a lot of her cousins and stuff at that party.
Whoa, a lot of Kenneka's cousins?
Yeah.
Were at the party?
Yeah. And one, and it was two of them. You know what they were doing on YouTube?
What?
Pretending like they were getting in the freezer.
Man, people are so insensitive.
And laughing about it. I said, "Wow, that's some crazy cousins."
These were real cousins. That's verified. Yeah. That's out of line. That's not even funny. Like, I don't like being in small spaces to begin with, but to be in a small space that's pitch black and you're freezing, if that was true that she actually
Like,
that I couldn't imagine going out like that.
no, she went out before they took her into that freezer. She didn't find her way back there.
No, I didn't think she found her way back there, but I thought maybe they locked her in when it was on when she was still alive at some point. But either way it go, the way she went out was
It was
horrible.
hard. It was cold blooded. I mean, you want to do that to a 19-year-old girl? But they said that some part of me believes that they thought she was going to snitch. I think she might have saw something she wasn't supposed to see. Some people said it was payback for what her brother did. But I can't imagine why would, to me, I don't know, old school, men's business is between men. They don't, deal in taking out the kids and the wife and the mom, sisters and stuff. And that's our business. When we into this, we're going to take out each other on that level, So
Exactly.
that's weird. But these kids don't have the same, gang ethic codes as back in the day. So,
I heard somebody say that women and children are you're not, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, it's supposed to be excluded.
Yeah.
These new gangs, they just buck wild.
They don't care. Like the person threatening Miss Martin
Yeah.
talking about shooting a baby.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's out of line to me. Like, no matter what you know that we don't know, that they may know, keep up with me, y'all. You still don't threaten a baby.
That's why I believe they're on some cult stuff, because they do. When you're into cults and stuff like that, babies are not off limits.
And see, that's just what's the anybody, and y'all not gonna tell me, 'cause I was gonna say anybody involved in the gang, y'all comment. But if you may know, what is the purpose of a gang? Is it just to feel like you have a family or you fit in? Because you don't do no good if you ask me.
Yeah, that's the purpose of it, so they say. And some, they feel empowered too. Feel empowered and have protection. Family.
Cause it's blood in, blood out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't never want to do something to where you can't change your mind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
And
another thing. I'm
it's
glad you said that. They said that she changed sex.
just about to say that. See, you on point. That dime by her foot, she dropped the dime. So either they're saying she snitched about that murder, and you can't blame that girl for that. She was minding her own business. She was at the wrong place at the wrong time. You were out here murdering folk.
Yeah, that's what I said. She probably just stood buying something and somebody decides to commit a murder. God damn, you can't help it if you see it.
And you have to, because if you don't, you withholding information from the cops, and you can go down if you know something and you ain't telling it.
Well, you know what? Either, in that kind of situation, you can choose not to tell it, but either way, you're going to be vulnerable.
You can be anonymous?
No, you're going to be vulnerable. If you don't tell it, the person that know that they committed the crime, know you saw it, you're vulnerable to them anyway.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah.
Damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Yeah, and that's why I'm like, okay, that's why I really feel like she was gonna die at the movie, she was gonna die at the hotel, or they would have caught her somewhere else because she saw that murder, and you gonna blame that girl for having eyes, basically.
Right. And that's what I said too. If somebody didn't want to go to jail, or they was on some revenge kick, but I believe it was some cult stuff. I believe, this is what I believe. I think, okay, because she was in a very vulnerable situation. I heard she wanted her mom to move too, get away from all that. But but anyway, so she was in a vulnerable position. She's been having a lot of peer pressure on her about that hotel stuff. I guess one of the members said the other girls are like regulars coming up there, so they was tricking. That's what I was told, and they were trying to force her off into it, but she didn't want to be in that mess. That's what I'm thinking. And the other thing is that she saw the murder. The other thing is that her brother was involved in something, and they wanted to pay back for that.
Now, the brother that died or the brother that's alive?
I think it was the brother that died.
Mm.
I think the one that just got out of jail was in jail for some kind of drug beef.
And you want to know something about that? When I posted a video of her brother talking to their cousins, he just got out, so she's dead. I'm not hearing any type. You just having fun. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
and I commented on that page because people were like, I said I'm glad that guy is not sad and depressed, because why should he wear his feelings on his sleeves? That's how people take control and empower themselves.
Oh well, yeah, true,
Yeah,
true.
so, they don't need to know his motive or how he feels.
That's true. But I really would, it wouldn't take me losing two or more children to move. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? I would have left. First of all, I wouldn't even beat her. Let's keep it real. And if you're from Chicago and you're listening, I mean, I know sometimes you can't just move
right.
because it takes money and
Finances, yeah.
resources. But I would definitely keep my butt in the house with all the locks and the deadbolt and bars on the window.
Yeah, you know what? I hadn't been in Chicago since I was a little girl, and I wanted to take my kids there for an educational trip to find all the roots and things like that. But I said, the hell with
Hmm.
Chicago. I'm not going to Chicago. My kids they don't want to go either.
But you know what? This lady posted in a group and she was dead serious. She said the school, you know how they send little letters home to parents? The elementary school sent a letter home and it said that they were taking a field trip to the Rose Month, dang it, the hotel,
That's
the
crazy.
Crown Plaza. And I'm like, skirt, excuse me. She posted it. It was official. She said she not letting her child go. She ain't even going to school that day.
I know that's right.
So I'm thinking, are y'all trying to get these kids to go here? So one of them, because little kids, they don't always keep up.
Right. Come
You
up missing.
you grab a kid.
Yeah.
When I saw that, I was too convinced.
Well, they said a black person's body was in, good condition, worth like
Hmm.
1.5 to $2 million. So
That's
if they get them organs and stuff, hey, it's like you walking around and you don't even know who you are because you're like a gold mine.
that's why they target these low privileged areas because most of the time it's African Americans.
Yeah. And they can't fight the system.
Right. Okay, okay, I haven't told anybody this, but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you because you seem cool. You did. But I'm almost older than my grandpa was when he died. Because in Texas, they real racist, if you didn't
Yeah.
know. He was 28. They said that he raped a white lady, right? Or a white girl. He was 28, she was like 17. That's where he messed up. That's the only I'm gonna give it to him.
Uh-huh.
He messed up on that one. But the neighbors were saying, this was in the 50s, by the way. The neighbors were saying that he would come over there all the time and she would let him in and then they would have sex and all that different stuff. But then one day her little brother walked in and saw her having sex with my grandpa and
Um,
she started yelling rape.
yeah.
And then they gave him the electric chair. It didn't even seem like. Right. It didn't even seem like he had enough time to, that they say go through the court and all that different stuff. Because that goes back to what you just said when you don't have the money. My grandpa's name was Howard Draper. Y'all can Google this. And he got murdered down there in Huntsville where they do all the killing in Texas. And do you know my grandmother was a little like my age or something, or a little younger than me, and she already had 4 or 5 kids. She was pregnant with my daddy at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And they sit up there. The same judge that did that to my grandpa was the one who was over the I believe it was Roe versus Wade and all this other racial stuff. He had something to do with Lee Harvey Oswald and all that. Yeah. So my family is into this injustice BS too. I'm working on a documentary about my grandpa called Howard.
Wow. Wow.
Hmm.
What's your grandfather's
So
name
people
again?
don't know that. What you say?
What's your grandfather's name again?
His name is Howard Draper. And what's so sad is he was just a number. If you Google that Howard Draper, just put rape and then Huntsville, Texas, and they just made my grandpa was a number. His age, the number or whatever for the Texas and the jail and stuff. And they didn't even put occupation by his stuff.
Yeah.
He was just 28, Dallas. And then you electrocuted my grandpa within what I believe it was like a month or two. Now, you know how many people are on death row that did something 20 years ago?
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 I have
And that
associates who were on death row and they didn't get executed till like 25 years later.
exactly, you expedited my grandpa. I didn't even know. Oh, let me say this. I forgot. I was talking to one of my cousins about this, and they said she came back years later, that girl,
Mhm.
and said that she lied about it
Mhm.
because her dad told her to do it because we don't want you having sex with no
And
niggers.
they,
We don't want that in our family.
right. Exactly. That's why I was thinking about him. She only said that because the family didn't want her to
Her little
do it.
brother
Yeah.
walked in.
Exactly. And to
And
me,
I was crying. I was crying
yeah.
because I don't even know my grandpa. And I was like, he had no help because he was broke.
Right. Back then, in them days, it didn't matter if you was broke or not. They were so prejudiced
Oh,
and the
yeah.
system was so rigged, still rigged, but, it didn't matter. It didn't matter. They were going to do what they was going to do anyway.
And that's why I'm so passionate about this Kenneka Jenkins case because I feel like it's an injustice and it reminds me of what happened to my grandpa.
Exactly. Exactly.
So yeah, Google that if you can. Whoever listening, I mean, fact check is there. You got all these old new. Ooh. I'll be getting excited. I looked up what they wrote in the case files for my grandpa. They want you to buy it, so yeah, I had to buy it. But it says right there in the darn case files that they didn't have conclusive evidence that he raped her, but yet they still executed him.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me.
I'm just like, so my grandmother, 23, 24, 25, how old she was, having to raise all these kids by herself and visit her husband in death row. My daddy said, yeah, she knew that he was kind of playing out, but you know how women,
Right.
they kind of like stuck with their
Right.
men back
Yeah.
then.
Exactly.
But she didn't know he was playing off with a 17-year-old. Well, she knew but she didn't believe he raped him, and she didn't, and he didn't.
Uh-huh.
She knew that.
Yeah.
But women, you know how we just played our role back then.
Well, yeah, I do, and I know that it's just a fact that they say it's not true, but it is true. A lot of white women lust for black men. They want
Man.
they want they want bigger is better type of thing. It's more sexual than it is anything else, but they do.
Yeah, that's what they do. Back in the slavery days, they be lusting and go after them, and then if they get caught by massa, you yelling rape, and now this man gotta die or
Mm-hmm.
get beat severely.
Exactly.
But yet massa run around here raping the black girls, having all these mulatto kids, team light skin.
That's right.
I can't believe how real this conversation got. I'm over here shaking because I had to make myself not
Well,
hate white people because the way y'all did my grandpa.
that's right. And that brings me back to Kenneka when they was letting it was bad enough that they had black guys pulling trains on them, but they invited white and Hispanic, ever else, on doing it too.
Mm.
That's what just took me to just a whole another level.
Now imagine you don't sleep around a lot. Not gonna get too graphic, so you're not really loose. And if you're having people forcefully enter you, that's horrible in itself. So if she wasn't alive, she gotta deal with that too.
That's right. That's right. That's what I was thinking.
And,
That goes against your moral fiber. And then, you're dealing with all that at the same time trying to save your life.
mm-hmm.
If it wasn't planned, why did you drug her? Okay?
Exactly. You know she wasn't gonna have that all the videos that we've seen of her, how feisty she wasn't just gonna lay down her life.
Right. So you that was gonna you already knew that was gonna be the alibi that she was messed up and high.
Exactly. They try to blame the victim so much.
That's why so many
I
girls
keep
never come forth on when they've gotten raped and so forth. They may keep it secret for years, and nobody knows something. And then one person may break the chain and say, "I'm coming out with it." Then you'll see other girls start coming out. And these are some of these high celebrity cases as well. Some people have kept these secrets for 30, 40, even 50 years. They never said anything. You know why? Because it was just like it was when your grandfather, they executed him. When women would come forward and talk about, I've been assaulted sexually, they would shame those women.
And you want to know what's crazy? My dad, my whole life, was telling me that his dad was killed because they say he messed with a white woman. I didn't find out until a year ago that he was killed by the state of Texas. I thought back in that day, you know how they did Emmett Till. Right. It was some white guys who just killed him. No, we have a justice system, quote unquote justice, that killed him.
That's right.
And I've thought my whole life that my grandpa, whom my mother or my grandmother married after him, was my grandpa. I was like, so you mean? Because I was like, why are you so yellow? I'm asking my dad, why are you so yellow? Why is my grandmother so yellow? She mixed with German, like literally full-blooded German. And I'm like, but grandpa, I'm gonna say his name, the one that, the new one, is all dark and stuff. So I'm like, so then, I started asking questions. I mean, I said, Dad, if you had told me this a long time ago, I'm interested in research and filmmaking and all this, I would have been had this up.
Yeah.
People talking about, don't talk about it, you're gonna get killed. I said, listen, most of the people that was already dealing with that is dead. But even if I was, I'd rather die for something. My grandpa didn't have a voice. I am his voice. Just like Kenneka, we are her voice.
That's right.
These people over here scared. So you mean to tell me that you'd rather shut your mouth?
Yeah, your grandfather knows what he's talking about. He's afraid you may get killed. He knows you're going to be marked. But I hear your spirit. You said, I don't care if I'm marked or not. I have to speak for him because he can no longer speak for himself.
Right. So you mean to tell me you just gonna let this injustice prevail because you too scared to say something? I mean, we could be helping change it for the future where they not so,
Right.
They can't just kill folks, with impunity.
Yeah.
Because they know we watching.
Yeah, I think there's no repercussions behind it.
So yeah, this has been this has been the best one. Do you hear me? It's been the best one because they are exempt from punishment. You have to ask yourself, why are you exempt? It's because you are connected.
That's right. And they've been making a lot of money for years. That's not the first thing that happened at that place. It just, that's the other thing I want to tell you. Somebody, there's other people who died there, right?
They're saying that, but nobody's going into details.
Well, there was a construction worker who they believe that, that area was supposed to be blocked off and all that, right? But he was working there as an independent worker. And he had his own private area, and he was found dead.
See, they want to sweep all that under the rug.
They said he may have seen something.
Just like it was a video uploaded of a black guy who looked like he was asking directions from one of them little maids or whatever. And then he comes back. Oh, I wish some cameras had audio. Then he comes back around, he peeps, and he has a look of terror and horror on his face, like he heard or saw something. He just keeps looking, and that was in the same hallway that Shamaya peeped out of. You remember? I don't know if you saw that one. Well, she kind of peeped out of an elevator or something, and she went back real fast, and it's the same one where they saw Kenneka coming out of an elevator. But then we see Mr. Security Guard, the one I was doing the most that night. They edited out people walking because you would see on the ground shadows, like let me look and see if I can really see. No, it was plain as day. shadows, but they edited it out. I'm just like, oh, every time I watch this, it pisses me off.
Mm-hmm.
It pisses me off because I mean it's clean. That Van Seek, what's her name? That one who does editing.
Oh, Cassandra.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm not. I know this is 2017, but y'all know something in my heart. I don't like white girls dating black girls. That's what happened to my grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
But we know it happens. Interracial dating, whatever. But it just don't seem like this preppy white girl would be chilling with these gangsters because it just.
Girl, it's like I just told you. She like that. She like that big sex.
Mm-hmm. That BBC.
Mm-hmm. That's what she like. And they be doing little favors for them all the time. So.
And so I'm just like, that you, Dr. Ali hit the nail on the head when like I said, he showed that towel over that smoke detector, and I'm thinking this whole time it's a fancy little light fixture.
Yep. So he's right. They were aiding and abetting, and that's what I said from the start. Wait a minute. They spiked a 19-year-old's drink. That's against the law right there.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody has to be responsible for that.
Underage drinking is against the law, and you knew all this stuff was taking place. Yet you say, put the towel down. Listen, all these. This is how you know what really happened. Like Dr. Ali said, you look at the police reports. People too lazy to read. Put it in a book. My people ain't gonna read.
I know it.
That still stands today.
Yep.
It says it right there. He broke everything down. And people trying to act like this is just his opinion and he's making up things. No, this is what these police officers said.
But even if they,
and I don't halfway want to believe.
You knew it and you saw it, and I mean, you know.
It's just right there. It's hidden in plain sight. They said fights were going on and they had
that's right.
Yeah, all this stuff going on, and they're saying that basically you said it was more than one person that died, more than Kenneka.
Right.
Well, it's all in you listening to those little you know, the little walkie talkies and all that where they talking. Y'all just thinking it don't make no sense. They start using code words like that girl said for the video that she let me upload. They started using code words in that stuff, like so that we won't know what's going on. Why you gotta use code words?
That's right. That's right.
Oh. So as we wrap this up, man, I just want to know what would you want people to know that you feel like people aren't really hearing the most about this case?
And not hearing the most about this case?
Like, I didn't know, a lot of people don't know that more than Kenneka died, or that, the people that own the hotel own the organ harvesting thing. Oh, somebody just sent me something that shows that they're having an organ harvesting. Well, it's not called organ harvesting, but it's like an organ donation drive type thing going on there. Or they had a murder mysteries and stuff like that. You know how Hollywood, we're just a big old audience for Hollywood, literally, not just when we're in the movies. They're always giving us stuff to watch, right? I believe there was a murder mysteries type thing going on that night.
Well, that's really weird because I know that Town Plaza actually holds murder mysteries on Saturday nights.
Exactly. And I'm just like, they probably just used that girl as an unwilling participant.
Yeah.
And their weird stuff.
Right. I think it's more sinister. I think it's really a deep occult with them. I think they made so much money off that body. I think it was deeper than even a snuff video. I think they were into some satanic mess. I believe that they probably ate some of those organs. I really think they were into cannibalism as well.
And watch they gonna call you crazy. But look, I saw a white man with his daughter, and he took her hunting, and they took the heart out of whatever they killed, and he was having her eat it. It was posted on Facebook and it went viral. Yeah. So they do stuff like that.
They do this, but it's the people with nobody is so covered up. Is because these people with all this money who are practicing this black magic and all that kind of stuff, they need organs for different things because, these days They can grow a lot of organs nowadays inside a lab. So why are they still killing humans for?
Exactly. It's just
That
I
doesn't make
like
that's an oxymoron. No, that's because they're into cannibalism. And they
mhm.
figure, certain energies from different things. Like, the heart brings about certain energy they're supposed to get. Little kids, you get high, intense energy. So they're into this damn what's this? Was it Crowley?
Alistair Crawley.
Yeah, they're into all that stuff.
Yeah, it's definitely something deeper.
Yeah,
But once again, like we said when we first started, because you haven't experienced something and that's not in your realm of reality,
right.
you sit there and say, "No, that doesn't happen."
Yeah. But then they
Well,
got these
get caught
psyops.
walking late at night one day.
Yeah, but they got these psyops that are all on YouTube too. They're saying it's not what happened, and they be in on it. So you gotta watch these people real sick.
Yeah, I just got a comment right here. I am in the minority of people that believe Shemaya and Monifa didn't murder Kenneka. I mean, how can you actually think they have the IQ high enough to commit and get away with it? They didn't do it by themselves.
Exactly.
Um, yeah, if you can barely formulate a sentence, that don't mean you stupid and don't like money.
That's right. And she's not.
That's just where they come from.
She's not as stupid as you think. Just because you may not be able to articulate your words, don't mean you're not on a higher level thinking. You know,
Exactly.
some people have talents in doing certain different things. So just don't get fooled by, if they speak funny or they can't do one thing, they may be able to do one thing better than the other.
Right. The way you speak isn't an accurate representation of your IQ. You could have a speech impediment.
Exactly.
You know, it's just their vernacular from where they come from. It doesn't mean that they're illiterate. It's just that's how like people from UK sound different than us. That don't mean they're dumb.
Exactly.
Man, this conversation's so good. I don't even know, man. This is so good.
Look, they're smart enough not to tell anything, keep everything hush hush until that night happens.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Tina calling them girls, they are not dumb. They picked the right hotel and it wasn't coincidental.
And the bunch is people that want to make their little money.
Right now, this is where I will call them dumb, that you will allow these higher ups to use you for some petty change while they getting hundreds of thousands, if not millions.
Exactly. That's why I said they know they want that little change because they really don't have much. So they gonna big bucks at the top, and you get the little scraps.
Yep, just like a regular job. Y'all pulling in all this money and you want to give me $7.25 minimum wage.
That's right. And if anything unravels, guess what, you guys? Y'all following, we don't know you.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, we gonna cut it off at the hour mark. I want to appreciate you for allowing me to speak with you. Thank you for reaching out to me.
Girl, it's a pleasure. I'm glad you reached out to me because that's what we have to do, support each other. And I will be sending you some emails or some things.
All right, thank you so much. You enjoy the rest of your day.
Well, take care.
All right, bye. All right, bye-bye.